If you enjoy retro platforming games and precision platformers but are looking for something cheap and cheerful in the budget range for you to get your little grubby mitts on, then perhaps Kid Ball Adventure might be one of the best ones for you. It's out now by East Asia Soft, and we know that East Asia Soft love to put in a really cheap and easy cross-buy platinum that requires you not to complete the game. Full disclosure, you can get that platinum in the first 20 levels of this game and get it in under 20 minutes if you want. But for me, the fun with Kid Ball Adventure started really kicking in after I got the platinum. And it's one of those games, and there's only a few of them that I'd recommend doing this with if you're out there getting some of these low budget platform games that give the platinum really early on. But this is one of those where I would say stick around afterwards and keep on playing, because Kid Ball Adventure actually has quite a lot to offer. There's 100 rooms, they're all a single screen long, but they constantly drip feed newer ideas as you go along. So it will start to get bounce pads, boost cannons and all of that kind of stuff. But because you're constantly bouncing all the way along, as different enemies come into play or different movable traps come into play, you have to really think on the fly, how are you going to tackle getting around that enemy? Do you bounce over it? Do you bounce under it? Do you wait until there's a sequence that you can then bounce onto, say, a moving platform and then get over some traps? Hopefully that won't tie up with some moving spikes, for example. Or it could be that you're using some of these cannons to boost yourself out of and then try and evade other traps, but then know once you pop out to then bounce over certain enemies in certain ways. It calls itself a precision platformer, and it is, but it's on the easier end of that precision platformer scale. And that's why I say stick around after the platinum, because actually there's still a decent challenge there, but it's an accessible one to get into. There's 100 stages in total, but there are different variants that can be unlocked as you go. You've got time trial mode, so if you're a speedrunner, this is a great game for you. There's also no death, like permadeath mode, to see how far you can get before you do conk it out on your first death. And then there's Hell Day mode, which adds in like a new game plus extreme version of each level as you go through it. So an awful lot of bang for your buck. Alongside that as well, there are also bosses for you to try and challenge as you go through the game. Largely, this game is all about evading stuff though, so that's why it's all about understanding that bounce and exactly how you can get things in and out. The key thing around this for me is that when you've got a precision platformer where you're constantly moving, the controls need to be fluid but predictable, and that's what Kid Ball Adventure nails. Some low budget games are a bit rough around the edges or have poor collision detection or something like that, and I didn't get that with Kid Ball Adventure. Everything felt fair, everything felt predictable, and as I would expect as I moved around. There's no like weird jank in the physics or anything like that. It just is a solid 2D precision platformer at the slightly easier end of the scale, with lots of fun to be had as you go through these different stages. So yeah, perfect for casual players if you want to get in and grab that platinum. If you're a hardcore speedrunner, then get into those difficulty settings, get on the hell mode and eat your heart out, because you will be hitting restart over and over and over and over and over again, making sure that you can get the fastest times as possible. Written review over on highplanegames.com. I'll just leave you with some extra gameplay, and I'll catch you again soon here on High Plane Games. Cheers! Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.